All right, so do you understand what's going on? Now, even the second question says, as limit x approach to 2, right? X to the fifth minus 32 over x minus 2. What's the answer for this one? The answer is 80, but how do you get 80? This is the same thing saying it's limits as x approach c, right? F of x minus f of c over x minus c is equal to f prime of c. Same thing is doing that. So in this case, we can identify this is the f of x. And all you gotta do is take a derivative of that, but that's not done yet though, because we have a c in this case. C is 2, so we want to figure out what's f prime of 2. That's equal to 5, 2 to the 4th. And that's equal to 80. And there you go, power rule is 80. So a lot of time in calculus problem, it doesn't not necessarily require a lot of work. It require your thinking skill to thinking things reversely.
I saw that one with synthetic division.
Yeah, but you don't have to because this is so much easier.
Well, I got the right answer. You got to show up flex, bro. I'm showing up. It's all now. I'm here.
Wednesday have been showing up. To give him credit, he has shown up more this year than last year.
I showed up every day last year.
Bullshit. I'm just calling you on live stream, by the way.
You get canceled this year.
That's okay. I get canceled anytime.
That's just so tough.
I don't believe in political correctness.
So can you just do the same thing for 4?
All right, so so what happened is this is a question. Now, what if I just change the question a tiny bit? Now look at the third question. The third question was limits of x approach to, I think it's 4, goes to x to the 3 over 2 minus 8 over x minus 4, right? If you realize that, how do I know this is the definition of an alternative form? Well, if you don't believe me, plug in 4 into the 3 over 2, and you're going to get 8. So you know that if I plug in 4 into here, that's going to give you 8. So that means function has to be x to the 3 over 2. And that means f prime of x has to be 3 over 2 x to the 1/2. And then you're going to plug in 4, right? 4 to the 1/2. That's equal to 3 over 2 times 2. This cancel out. That's equal to 3. So this answer is actually become 3. Fairly easy questions. Now, what if I change the question to a bit harder? Okay, you guys ready? Now again, you can probably choose to do combined fraction, conjugate, and then solve it. It's going to be a lot more difficult, but let's figure out if we can figure out a way that you can do this question much easier on an easier path. Now, this kind of question is 100% on AP exam. What I always tell students is always understand 100% on those are 100% frequency questions. on the test, at least minimum, if you understand all about minimum, you're gonna get a 3. And everything going from 3 is going up. So if you have to understand this question in particular, make sure you understand this very detailed. This is 100% will show up on the AP exam. It's been shown for the last 30 years. It's not gonna change. It's always the same. Since it's not even 30 years, started at 1969. That's the first AP exam was issued. Everybody got an answer? Show me. Oh, look at it. Hold on, don't shout it. That's correct.
Yes.
Anybody else? That's not correct.
Oh, you get the button. And you're in it. And then. My right.
That's not correct.
Ooh. We eventually gonna get it. No, I did them.
That's not correct.
It wasn't good.
That's not correct either.
Can't do it.
That's not correct.
It's like a game show. Negative. Negative 8 to the power.
Or
Negative 1.
almost correct.
That's nature.
Negative 8. So it's not.
What let me see the math, Joe. The math is after this. Number 0.
I don't like combine.
See, we'll check this.
Check this out. I feel like it's 1 over 6. I know. I just think you have to take it up.
Is that what you were?
That's what I thought it was. But I just saw you just do the power set the base to the side, negative 1. The power of negative 1 plus minus 1.
Now, what Miranda got very close to an answer, but her method is wrong because she think that taking derivative of constant is gonna go to a constant. It's not true. So take a derivative constant is supposed to go into a 0. So even though her answer is almost correct, but her method is wrong because she took a derivative constant and she got another number, which that's not correct. That's why it's not correct. So it doesn't mean you got the right answer is correct. It means that everything. Now, Andy don't have it right because Andy recognized something that's different than other people. So what does Andy recognize?
What is it?
I still want other people to think it's slightly longer.
He said no.
You're too far. That's too far to walk. I might be out of breath by the time I get there. Okay, so look at this questions, right? What Andy realizes is, he says it's f prime of x equal to limits as h approach 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Hold on, let me make sure I stream correctly. Oh, no, it's not streaming.
Let's say what happened to 24 hours.
Okay, now it's streaming correctly.
Oh, he fixed it.
All right, so now now that I have it set up correctly, I look at this, I say, wait, whatever x there, it was replaced with 16. Do you see that? So that means if you see this limits as h approach 0 of f of 16 plus h minus f of 16 over h, does that mean that's f prime of 16? Does that make sense?
1 over that.
But the problem is, which function that you plug in 16 is equal to 1 over root 16? So which function would it be? What's the function? 1 over root x. Yes. So that means f of x is 1 over root x. Now I just gonna go do this, which is f prime of 16.
Oh.
That means I'm gonna take a derivative of this, which is that's equal to x to the negative 1/2. So it'll be negative 1/2 x to the negative 3/2. Is that okay? And that's equal to negative 1/2 over x to the 3 over 2, f prime of x. Now, what we want is not f prime of x. We want f prime 16. So it's a little bit longer. So f16, that's equal to negative 1 over 2 times 16 to the 3 over 2, which is negative 1 over 128. Yes?
So do you have to do it like the 1 over square root of x?
Yes. You cannot do 1 over square root of 16 because you cannot take a derivative 1 over square root of 16. If you take a derivative 1 over square root of 16, that's just going to be 0. The problem is you need to recognize that's the function first and then take a derivative after and plug in the evaluations. Yes.
What if I took the derivative of 16.8 the negative 2?
Yeah, that won't be mathematically correct on the thinking wise. Is it correct? The thinking wise is you recognize what they want. They want is f prime 16. So you have to start to think about inferring what is the 1 over root 16, which function, what number you plug in 16 is going to give you the function. What is the function? You want to take a derivative of the function, not a number. Because you take a derivative of a number, it's going to be 0.
I mean, it's not. It's like oh, f of 16. If you have it excluded, understand.
Okay, any question about this part? All right. So let's talk about today. Now remember, today I'm going to write some more question like this. Very important. If anything else you need to know, this is the part that you need to know because this part is 100% on AP exam. When I told you it's 100% on AP exam, that means 100% on AP exam and my exam. So you're going to affect both score. You have to know those questions. You cannot just say, oh, I'll just leave it to tomorrow. The problem is some of you guys leave it to tomorrow and you don't remember what you're going to do tomorrow. Like, do you ever watch a Ninjago? Like, what's the first lesson? Like, what did Master Wu say to the first thing? It's like, what can be done today, do today, right? Or something like that.
Don't put off the repeat today or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, then like Master Wu is like the wisest person I ever met. Yeah. Master Wu, yeah. I'm gonna grow up here. I'll be like teaching still like with the king.
Yo, Mr. Ye, you like my wallpaper?
What is that?
I'll show you. Yeah, that is that like
That's so deep.
Okay, that's fine.
I said I hate it. That's pretty fire, right?
Nice.
It was spoiled.
So you like Ninjago too, I guess.
Oh yeah,
I'm a big Ninjago guy too. I watch it with my son grow up. When we grew up, I was like, this is actually interesting. I can watch this all day long. All right. Let's take a derivative of a c. We should know derivative of c is a constant. So that's why we cannot take a derivative of 1 over root 16. Because if you take a derivative of the constant, it's actually equal to 0. The second thing you need to understand is derivative of a kx. What's the derivative of kx?
Okay.
It's k. Why is k? Because k is a slope. Think about if you have y equal to 2x. What's the slope of y equal to 2x? Slope is 2, right? It's a number in front of the x. Or, so y equal to 2x. The slope is 2, right? So that means y prime must equal to 2. Does that make sense? If you want to take a power rule, you can, but it would be x to the 1. If you put it down, so it'd be 1 times x to the 0, which is 1. So it'd be 2 times 1 is 2. So therefore, is derivative of kx is equal to k. The next thing is what we're learning today is d to the dx of c of f of x. It's called constant multiple rule. This is a big deal. A lot of people don't understand how important this one is. It's basically the c, which is the c times f of x. You can just pull it out and just focus on take a derivative of the f of x, and the c is in the front. Now it'd be c to the f prime of x. That's what's going to happen. What does that mean? That means if I take a derivative of 4x cubed, technically, I don't need to take a derivative. I don't need to worry about the 4. I can leave the 4 in the front. So be 4d to the dx to x to the third. I kind of just think about that's there, but it's not there. And I'm just focused on take a derivative of x cubed, which is 4 times 3x squared. So roughly 12x squared. Does that make sense? And that's it. So that's that. So all the function you need to be able to rewrite and take a derivative today. So we just talk about constant multiple rule, and then we say, hey, that's going to be y equal to 5x to the third. I'm going to ask you to take a derivative of this. Usually, if it's x is on the bottom or x is a radical, I will rewrite them before I take a derivative. So I'm going to give you a few. Y equal to 2 over x, y equal to 4x squared over 5, and the y is equal to 2 root x, y equal to 2, 3 root of x squared, and the y equal to negative 3 over 2x. I want you to take a derivative of all this function, but what are you going to write? You're going to write y prime. But some of the things I might rewrite first before I take a derivative. For example, all this need to rewrite before I take a derivative, the equal sign. I will rewrite that using the negative exponent rule. A lot of people still don't know what the negative exponent rule is. So negative exponent rule saying 1 over a to the n is equal to a n, or negative n is a n over 1. Or a to the negative n equal to 1 over a to the n. So those are the exponent rule from algebra 2. This is not calculus. This is algebra 2. Algebra, no, not even algebra 2. Algebra 1, actually pre-algebra. Pre-algebra, you learn about negative exponent rules.
The last one, negative 3 over 2.
Yeah. You're going to find out that there's more situation that a lot of you guys don't know the order operation or parentheses. And it's due to, I will say it's due to the algebra teacher in middle school or even high school that's not doing a very good job. But so make sure you understand those exponent rule really well. Samuel, use pencil. You cannot stare at the math. Math will stare you back.
I think they're wrong.
Huh?
I think it's
Can somebody pull out a quote from Ninja Master Wu? I kind of want to print it out from the front now.
That's good.
Master Wu. Master Wu from Ninjago. Oh, that's pretty badass. That's a badass picture.
Garmadon.
I don't like Garmadon.
You don't like
I
Garmadon?
don't like Garmadon.
I was with Kai.
I'm saying you sick with white.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
Kai is the funniest one, I think.
What? Yeah, yesterday is gone.
The robot guy. That's the robot.
Oh yeah, he's cool. The white Ninjago. I don't remember. You asked. What's the white do? What's the white?
The white dude?
Yeah, the robot. Big one. Huh? Zhang. Zhang is pretty cool. All right, so let's take a derivative of all this function. If I take a derivative of x cubed, that's going to be 3x squared. So that's going to be 15x squared. If I take a derivative of 2 over x, I cannot take a derivative as right now. I need to make sure it's 2 to the x to the negative 1 first using the negative exponent rule because this is a 1 here. So you basically go in from here to here to become x to the negative 1. Now y prime is equal to negative 2 x to the negative 2. Now you should rewrite back the answer, which is the positive exponents, and that should be a final answer. Now with this one, y prime, this 4 over 5 is a constant. So recognize that's a constant. So 4 over 5 times 2x, which is 8x over 5. This one, you're going to say 2x to the 1/2. Then y prime is equal to 2 times 1/2 x to the negative 1/2. Therefore is 1 over x to the 1/2. Now, why did I not change it to root x? Because I prefer that it's a rational exponent because I can easily substitute or take a more derivative if I need it. So I don't usually want to convert back to square root x because what if I ask you to take a derivative again? You need to convert back to rational exponent and then take a derivative, which is that's redundant.
Where's the 2 for the third?
Because derivative x squared is 2x.
Okay.
Now this one I already write them, so 1 over 2 that's still in the front. Now you see this one is going to move up, but before you move up, it's going to be x to the 2 over third power, and that's because 1 over 2 x to the negative 2 over third. Now I can take a derivative. Before that, I cannot take a derivative. So now I'm going to take a derivative now. So that's going to be 1/2 that's in the front. Now I'm going to put this down in the front. So it'll be negative 2 over third. Is that okay? X to the negative 5 over third. So that is equal to negative 1 over third and x to the 5 over 3. And that's all the answer here. Now this one's super easy because y prime is equal to negative 3 over 2 because that's just a slope. But if you want to take a derivative of x, that's going to become 1. And take a derivative of x1 to become 1, that's going to give me this. So those are easy derivatives. Now, the next thing is I want you to take a derivative of this one. Y equal to 5 over 2 to the x to the 3. Y is equal to 5 over 2x to the 3. Y is equal to 7 over 3x to the negative 2. And y equal to 7 to the 3x to the negative 2. So now each thing are kind of look the same, but kind of different. But the problem is people make mistake. It's not because the calculus that they make mistake. It is the algebra they make mistake. It's where the parenthesis located. If you realize parenthesis is probably the only single most important thing in math. Parenthesis is like a space bar on your keyboard. Imagine you type in the essay without space bars. All the words going to look jumbled together. So parenthesis is probably the only thing that matter because if you don't recognize what a parenthesis, what an argument is, you are never going to be good at math. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. But if you understand what a parenthesis is, then you get better as the time goes on. Okay, you start recognizing what a parenthesis is, you're gonna make a much better math student than before. So what I would do is rewrite all those functions first. So on your homework today, they will ask you to rewrite first. So that means you haven't taken derivative yet. How do I rewrite the 5/2x to the cube? 5/2 what? X to the -3. Did you do that first?
Yeah.
You gotta do that first. That's the rewrite process. This one I can rewrite more before I take a derivative. I need to rewrite all the equation because I cannot take a derivative as is right now. This is 5/8x to the third. See, slightly different than the first one because 2 is going to be cube, x is going to be cube as well. So it'll be 5/8x to the -3. I haven't taken derivative yet. I just rewrite all those things. This one I'm going to rewrite 7/3x to the 2 because it's -2. I move to the top, becomes +2. I didn't do any calculus yet. I just do all the algebra. So this 3 to the -2, x to the -2, that's equal to 7 times 3 squared times the x squared. So that's equal to 9 times 7 is 63x to the second. So now if after that, if I rewrite it, I rewrite all the thing and I take a derivative. So I write down y prime now. So it's going to be 5/2 times -3 times x to the -4. And that's equal to -15/2 x to the 4th on the bottom. And that's my final answer. Y prime is 5/8 times -3 times x to the -4. So it's going to be -15/8 x to the 4th. Y prime is going to be 14/3x. And y prime is equal to 126x. Is that okay? I didn't do anything crazy. I just rewrite all the stuff before I take a derivative. I need to make sure I have that process rewrite first before I take a derivative. Okay, let's show you how to take a derivative of sum and difference rule. The sum and difference rule is super easy. If I ever take a derivative of f of x plus g of x or minus g of x, it just means f prime of x plus minus g prime of x. So that means if I take a derivative of y equal to 3x squared plus x minus 1, if I take a derivative of that, now if I take a derivative of this function, this y is going to know as a dy dx, which is also another notation of f prime of x, another notation of y prime of x. It's the same exact thing. If I take a derivative of 3x squared, that's going to be 6x. Is that okay? If I take a derivative of x, it's going to be 1. And if I take a derivative of a -1, it's 0. So it's going to be 6x plus 1. Is that okay so far? So can you take a derivative of this? Can you take a derivative of this? You can say it's y prime. What's the root of 12x cubed? 36x squared. Super easy, right? Plus, what's 6x squared? What's the root of minus 3x? What's the root of 4? 0. And that's it. This is y prime. Or dy dx. Either one is acceptable. Now, what if y is like this, though? This one's kind of hard. Now, supposedly, they don't going to learn something called quotient rule, but I won't want you to do quotient rule. The reason why I want you to do quotient rule, I will ask you to rewrite this. If you rewrite this, your math is a lot more simpler, and you don't have to deal with a very complex low D high minus high D low over low low. As separate got it wrong. Okay? So make sure you do not do a quotient rule, because at this case, if I just take care algebra, remember algebra in 3rd grade, 1/3 plus 2/5 plus 1/5 is equal to 2 plus 1 over 5, right? We know this, right? But we never teach you it can go this way, because 2 plus 1 over 5 can change it to 2 over 5 plus 1 over 5. So therefore, this one's going to be 3x squared over root x minus 4x over root x minus 1 over root x. This one is going to be 3x to the 3 over 2 minus 4x to the 1/2 minus x to the negative 1/2. Now, I just rewrite all of them. Now, I'm going to take a derivative. I just take a derivative. And that's going to be 9 over 2 x to the 1/2 minus 2 root x, or x to the 1/2 here, and a plus 1 over 2 x to the 3 over 2. I only did algebra and not the power rule. I didn't do anything crazy. So algebra is something that you guys are supposed to know. How do you know that? That's very impressive.
I forgot.
You think alien will prefer to be green than any other color?
Like they wanted to bring it out.
Why can alien be pink?
I think they can.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It could be any color.
Can be any color?
Yeah.
When they choose prefer green though?
I guess that's just how we think.
I got every color alien on the back of my shirts.
One of them's one.
Bye, Mercier. That's true. Chinatown Market. Why is the Chinatown Market?
I don't know. I think that's just the brand.
What is that? Is it 6?
See much for see it.
19 out of 20 is not 6?
No. Six is fine now.
Oh my God.
And I'll be wearing glasses. So annoying.
I hate today's schedule. I don't know why. This week has a 3 weekly schedule. What the? Oh.
So annoying. Man, all of my tests done on Thursday.
3 Wednesday schedule. Can you get a door for me?
Where is the clothes? Where is the dress? Where's the drip? You're not a legal alien. A legal alien?
Mr. Ye, what are you dressed as today?
Mr. Ye.
Are you an alien?
Sean, what are you doing with that, bro?
What am I?
He a brown alien, bro. It's like that's not the North Korean alien.
Actually, it looks.
I'm a spy,
You don't need that thing.
I don't call it spy.
What am I an alien? Separation.
Are you trying to call it cookie fries?
I'm Mr. Ye. How are you?
What?
You know what? Actually, you do something to me.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. That's
I went home and I slept. I finally slept at 9, like this whole.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Sacrifice.
Yeah, give my baby to me, bro. She was strong. Even talk. That's my baby. Hell, bro. No, she my baby, bro.
How long did you stay up there?
Yeah, how long are you?
4 a.m. Oh, it said until 4 a.m. What's that?
I got your face.
Dude, I'm a proud mom, bro. You take
4 hours. Yo, so I must be at 4 hours.
Lock back, bro. What are you doing, bro? Oh, no, bro. All this talk about Discord is awful.
You dodged your paper.
No, no. Sleep down because
I just need to. And he went like this. Do you know the answer to this? I said, and I said, what would you think that he was bringing out? And he goes, he was like, and he was like, oh, just like give me the answer, give me the answer. And I said no, and he's like, why? And because I don't like all of the answers. He was like, it's poison oak. Not my, not my actual. Like, oh my god, guys, what do you so? I like that. That actually pissed off. I can't believe not mine.
Have you seen Big Bang Theory?
The Big Bang Theory, the show? Why? I think it's to do with us. Yeah, can you just
You just defrost it. That's very fat.
No, give me that back. That's so I'm going home. And it's all the stuff.
Now that mental health thing.
Yeah, it's just it's mental health thing. Wow. Katie's gonna take a whole block this week.
This 3 years since the
This is that.
make me want to jump
And then
out.
they're gonna call her down to the house. It's going.
You know, if you write stuff, they read it, they flag it.
Your time friend wrote something like, "Oh, this person like killed himself, like in history or whatever." what's going on, and she's like, like, I just like, I know that.
Can you read the context?
Exactly. You read the whole side.
All right.
Each their.
I'm gonna go through Ming boundary theorem. I'm gonna go through the projectile functions. So make sure you understand the projectile function and make sure you understand certain things. Because I will put it on the related rate test. Because projectile is part of the related rate, so you have to understand that. So let's talk about projectile function that uh-huh.
Is that a knockoff champion? Wait, what does it say?
I don't know. I just wear whatever shirt.
It's like when people look it up instead of don't you like
And then spell wrong.
Yeah.
Nike? Is that Nike?
Mike or something.
Yeah. And they will have they even have like the thing, but it's like actually like this. It's like